my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is the Monday video where we look at the hottest Silver Age comics of the week. And I'm joined, as always, with Mark from Suddenly Comics. And yeah, it should be a pretty interesting list. I kind of did the opposite of the previous list. So the previous list, I just basically took the biggest sales, okay?
Yeah.
This list, I kind of looked at the more obscure books. Again, I like to kind of balance it out. So all the big boy books, so I got to balance it out. There is one kind of big book on this one, but there's a caveat to that one. And there's a reason why I put it on the list. That's going to be on Mark's channel. But there's some pretty cool books. These are interesting, more interesting books. A little bit more obscure. Probably some new records just based on the fact that they probably never sold before. But some pretty cool things, I think. Should be interesting.
Okay. Well,
And
let's.
some keys that actually I'm going to tell people about that are under the radar as well.
What the heck's that? That's not it, is it? What am I doing?
Okay, so this first one's interesting. I think we've had this on the list maybe once before.
We've had it once before, yeah.
Yeah, I actually, this is a book that I've kind of wanted in my collection. I do like collecting Beatles memorabilia.
Okay.
And this is like well Beatles related comics, I should say, not necessarily memorabilia part, but this is one of the most iconic songs I would say of the Beatles. Yellow Submarine. It was kind of a you know uh, uh, big phenomena back in the late '60s.
Well, it was the,
Um,
it was the name of the movie.
yeah, yeah, but it was also a song,
Yeah, yeah,
popular
it was.
song,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the point is, yeah, this is a green label because it's missing the poster.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a green label of Beatles Yellow Submarine. Uh,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
got that,
Post.
it's got that kind of, stylized what is this, 1967?
Or 66, 69, actually. This is
69.
when the movie came out. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure when it
It's
was out.
slightly later in the
So
Beetle.
yeah, so you got that sort of where they're wearing the kind of funky style. Like, when they first came out, they were very prim and proper. And then they go, by, late 60s, they kind of go the hippie kind of, flamboyant, not flamboyant, but, kind of weird
Right.
costumes.
Okay. I'm going to test you now, Alan.
Okay.
Okay, so can you name this beetle at the back in the purple jacket?
Uh, that looks like Paul McCartney.
Correct. This one with the tie.
Ringo Starr.
Yes, this one.
And that's John Lennon. And then
Yeah.
then Harrison in the back there.
Oh, well done. Yeah, well done. Okay, and
Um,
who's this guy?
No idea what that is or who
That
that
is
is. I
a
didn't see the movie. I didn't see
okay. So that is a
Yellow
blue
Submarine movie.
meanie. That is a blue meanie.
Oh, Blue Meanie. Actually, I knew about the Blue Meanies. I didn't realize that that's what it was there. So yeah, I've heard of Blue Meanies, but yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I don't think
Um,
I'd want one without the poster though.
yeah. It seems like yeah. I hate. I like completeness in terms
Yeah,
of this kind of thing.
yeah. I know you. You wouldn't buy this. You'd want to get the poster.
Yeah, I try to find the poster version. Um, but this one seems relatively like reasonably priced, about
Yeah,
$100.
$109 for a 5.5 with no poster. Let's have a look.
Yeah,
It's gone down in no,
down based
well,
on
based on inflation.
inflation.
Because the last time this sold was 12 years ago. Actually,
Yeah,
it's a record in terms of number of dollars,
yeah.
but it actually sold for $100 in 2013, and now it's sold for under.
So it went up 10%, but inflation went up 1,000,000% in that
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, we've had rapid, like the thing is, I don't think we've adjusted yet for the rapid inflation that we've experienced in the last 3 years.
No,
Um, you know, People are still thinking in 2020 price numbers, like in terms of like what a dollar means.
yeah.
Uh, it's changed a lot. Um, so yeah, so ultimately it's a record, but ultimately it's down.
Yeah, yeah.
How many on the census?
221.
221.
Yeah.
And that's not many.
No, it's
You
not.
know, this you think this book would be fairly,
I,
common.
I don't think it is fairly common. I don't.
No, but you would think, based on the popularity of the
Yeah, you would have
Beatles,
done. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've never seen one of these in the wild. I,
yeah,
I
they're
go.
hard to
I
find.
attend a lot of comic auctions, and I've never seen this.
I haven't seen it in the wild either. So yeah, it's one that I look for, but never seem to find.
If I
What
saw
does
this,
a
I probably
what
would.
does a blue label go for comparatively?
So
Like
a
if you
blue 5.5, I think it'll go for quite a lot more.
Yeah, usually the poster makes a huge difference in the price. I'd say like three, 400 would be my guess.
Well, it hasn't sold for 5 years.
But
Uh,
what was the last sale?
well, let's have a look at the recent sales, shall we? See what the last
Yeah,
sale.
yeah.
So one sold. Oh, that's the 5.5. Oh, right. So a blue label 8.0 sold for $550 earlier in February.
So maybe like 300-ish, probably.
Yeah, I'd have thought so. What's this one here? That's no, that's an 8.0, quite some. Yeah, so yeah, I'd have thought two or 300. Yeah,
It seems like how many of them are qualified versus green label? Blue label, I mean.
there's 22 qualified and there's 188 blue label.
Yeah. So it just shows you
No,
like how rare.
I don't think you'd bother doing it, would you, if you hadn't got the poster?
You still do it. Obviously, 22 people thought that was a good idea. Um, but yeah, I mean it's rare enough that even without the poster, it commands, it's worthy of getting slabbed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's the Beatles and people do collect, so you've got two different groups of people who will buy this. So
Yeah,
you've got comic collectors who will buy it, but you've also got Beatles memorabilia collectors who will buy it as well. So the
yeah,
size of the market for this is bigger than just comic collectors.
yeah, yeah. That's why it's a good one. I actually just picked up the very first appearance of the Beatles in comics.
Where was
Uh,
that?
they they so I thought it was some other book than what it was, but I learned based on my audience complaining that I said the wrong thing, that it was actually Dell did a one shot about the Beatles,
Okay.
and it came out in I believe 1964.
Okay, that's early. Yeah.
Yeah, so really early, and soon afterwards, like some Little Margie or something like that had a Beatles thing as well. I thought it was the Little Margie that was the first thing, but based on the dates, it was this one shot that's all about the Beatles, and they did cartoons inside as well. So it was the first true comic book appearance.
Okay, interesting.
It wasn't that expensive either, strangely.
No,
Um,
no, probably because nobody knows about it. Right.
yeah,
Moving on. Here we go. Another interesting one. This is Blue Beetle 31. I have never seen
yeah.
Beetle
So
31.
the reason I put this on the list is actually a couple weird things. So this is
Yeah,
Charlton Comics that
yeah,
did this Blue Beetle 51.
yeah,
It's obviously pretty late in the run. So it's a 9.2 though.
yeah, which is
Like if
rare.
you know anything, these Charlton books are notorious for really poor print quality, and like just the paper quality is just terrible. So finding something like this where it's a mid-run, it's not like, the early issues probably people would have saved and been a little bit more careful with, but this is mid-run. Uh, Finding this in a high grade, I think would be really, really hard.
Yeah, no, the Charltons are hard to find in high grade. I am currently collecting Charlton romance comics from this sort of period, um,
Hmm.
and they are hard to
They're
find in high
they
grade.
are, yeah. I actually like those too. So yeah, this is actually a first appearance as well. The guy on the with the big M on his chest, Mentor the Magnificent.
Yeah, you
It's
probably get
his first
sued.
appearance.
Probably get sued now by M&Ms. But anyway,
Yeah, actually, that's funny. Um, yeah. So just an interesting one. I don't know how big of a character Mentor was, but I don't know. I think it's interesting.
Yes.
Um, it's mainly I put it on the list just because of that high grade. I was more curious about it than anything else.
Well, let's have a look. $149 for a 9.2. There won't be
Hmm.
many. This is going to be. I bet my bet on this, Alan. It's the one of one.
I bet it's actually a low
One of
sale.
one. No, it has some decreased in
Yeah,
value, but
yeah, I would have guessed that actually.
yes, it's down over 50% over a period of a year.
When did it sell last? So it sold
Just
last
last
year for
August last year for $400, and it just sold for $139. They,
somebody got a steal on this because that previous price should be kind of market, like that was during a low period of comics anyways.
yeah.
Um, so here's the question about it. How many, like, what's the highest grade for this book? And how many are there on the
Well,
census?
there is 16 on the census,
Yeah. And 9.6 is the highest?
and I think 9.6 there's 196. There are no 9.4s. So that 9.2 is one of the top. Oh no, there are two 9.4s. They've just
Two
never.
9.2s, yeah, 9.24s, and
This is
9.4s.
one of the top five graded.
Yeah. So, and it looks like the higher grades have never
Well,
sold
it looks like
before.
there's been a sale. It's 9.6. Looks like that's a sale.
Okay, what's the sale for the 9.6?
That
Oh
was
yeah, one sale.
in 2023 for $480 for a 9.6.
Okay. So based on the price, actually, this is probably pretty accurate. So that 9.6 sale would suggest that this book would be around the 100 to $150 range
Where it
because you
sold.
get a doubling effect at high grades,
Yeah.
right?
So that other 9.2 sale was a high one then, is what you said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, basically. Okay. I mean, it's not like a big key that people are going to chase after. I think this would be more for the high grade completionist. You
Well,
know
it's
that
if you're a blue beetle collector,
yeah, that's what I'm
you need,
saying. Like
you need one of these to finish your run, don't you?
yeah, yeah, that's a high grade completionist.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, next up, it's Captain Action.
And I just recently bought this one. Just not this is not my copy, but I bought this raw
Yeah.
at a convention. Like I actually traded for it. I that's what I do. I never bring money to
I quite
conventions. I
like
always
I quite
trade.
like the cover, Alan. It's quite
Yeah, this is actually the first appearance of Captain Action. And it's actually a really cool one. He's pushing Superman out of the
it
way.
is. Stand back, Superman. This is a job for Captain Action.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just interesting. I thought it was such a quirky cover in comic.
I've never
It's
seen
his
this.
first appearance.
I know nothing about Captain Action.
I don't really know much about Captain Action either, to tell you the truth. I just thought it was quirky,
Been
so I
written
bought
by
it.
Jim Shooter. It's got
Yeah,
Gil Kane and Wally Wood art.
yeah,
That's an Irv Novick cover.
yeah. It's got some pretty big talent behind it.
Yeah, yeah. What
Um,
is this? 1968. So
and it's a 9.4 white pager.
what were DC doing? I mean, DC have got loads of characters. Why are they introducing a new character called Captain Action in 1968?
I have no idea. And he looks almost like a Gestapo guy
He does. Yeah, he does.
with the dog and stuff. It's just very, very odd. I
And
don't
that
know.
that logo is awful. The triangle with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just,
What happened to him, Alan?
I don't know. But he did, it was not a short run. It was not like one and done kind of thing. It actually ran a bit. Um, so yeah, so 180 or 100, is that 180 or 165?
$169 for it.
169. Okay.
Uh,
And yeah, so I don't know. I thought this was interesting.
Okay.
This is one that's all over the place. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, it's down here at the moment. Mind you, that's probably COVID. Yes, it is.
What was the COVID price?
Somebody paid $366 for this in COVID.
Oof. And actually, there was a higher price way back when.
It was,
Well, not based on the
well,
yeah,
2004, 21 years ago, somebody paid $500 for it.
roughly. Well, in today's money, yeah. How much
Yeah.
was the actual sticker
The
price?
actual money was 299,
Okay.
which
So
is
this book didn't really perform well. If you've, spec'd on Captain Action, it was probably not a good idea.
no, I don't
And it
think.
looks like it's got a really erratic trend line, like and on the way down the whole way. Um,
Nobody's heard of Captain Action. I mean, the only people who are going to buy Captain Action are people who want to, who are, a bit like you and me. I am a bit like this. Sometimes I'll find a really odd comic and
yeah.
I'm going to collect all of these because there's only 10 of them. Uh,
Yeah, so I picked this one up. I think I paid $10 for it or something
yeah,
in that range, 10, $20 in terms of trade. So that's not even like,
yeah.
um yeah, it wasn't expensive. And mine was reasonable grade as well.
There are
Not
two,
a 9.4,
there are
but
252 of these graded though.
that's actually quite a lot for such a obscure book. Now, I'm sure I'm going to get like some major flack in the comments below from Captain Action fans. Like the fan club is going to trash me, and
Is
it's going to
not
be
going to tell me Stephen is a major collector of Captain Action.
probably, who knows? Probably everyone's like, oh, you don't know Captain Action? Well, I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was
Uh,
interesting. I thought it was a quirky
what
thing.
super? I mean, given that he's pushing Superman out of the way, I'm assuming he's got pretty amazing superpowers.
Well, you should. I don't know much about Captain Action. I just thought it was a quirky comic. I didn't even read it yet. So
Okay, all right. Um, right, let's move on then. Since let's
I
not
just
talk
thought that
any
was an
more
interesting
about him,
one.
since neither of us know nothing about him. Right, we do know about this character though. This
Yeah. I
Batman,
believe this is the third or fourth appearance of the Penguin
and
in the
I
Silver
have
Age.
not got this one. This is one missing from my collection.
I actually have this one. I actually thought this was like when I first bought it, I thought it was the first appearance of Penguin in the Silver Age. I was mistaken. The one with the dragon is, um,
It's a
but I
great.
just loved the cover. I
It
just
is
thought it was a
great.
really cool cover.
It's a really cool cover.
Like
Why?
I always associate the penguin with that umbrella that
Yeah,
sprays out.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And look, there's all
and
sorts of
it's a go check. He's got the bat shield, which is interesting,
and the Batarang.
and the batarang. Yeah, he's got everything going on. This is just a cool cover. I
Yeah,
just like the dynamics of it too, with all the umbrellas and
I
stuff.
love this big red blob in the middle. What a war, the Penguin and his weapon umbrella army against Batman and Robin.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Garden,
And this is a reasonable grade actually.
well, it's in an 8.0. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, and it presents nicely. It's fairly white looking.
Yeah. $336. I think that's not bad.
Yeah.
I would be vaguely tempted by that. Right. Um, let's see. What do you reckon? Up, down, sideways?
Sideways, I would imagine.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is sideways. It's been sideways for the last 10 years.
Yeah. DC never gets the love anyways. I kind of figured that. There's a few books that do, but this not one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might pick one of these up. I'm going to go and look for a raw one in a decent.
Yeah, this is one you can probably be lucky on and get it for like a
Yeah,
fraction of the price. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's all over the place. It's almost like luck. If you're lucky, you can get it for a better, one price, or somebody might sell it for a high price because somebody's desperate to buy it at some particular point. But it looks like it's all over the place. It's a fairly flat thing where it's just kind of big jumps in
Yeah,
between,
I
right?
mean, one sold for 225 earlier this year. I mean, it's
Yeah.
quite a lot of sales of this, so there are obviously loads of them to pick up.
Yeah. I mean, what's the census? I mean, this is during the Batman
Yeah,
show.
so it'll be
So,
quite high.
yeah,
611.
that's reasonably high for what this
Yeah, it
is,
is.
but
Yeah.
so yeah, so it's out there. I got a raw copy of it. I didn't pay much for it. I just thought it was a cool cover.
It is a
I think
cool.
I got it on a claim sale actually, of all places.
Why the heck have I not got this? I think
It's a
I've never, I would have bought this would have seen it, and I just don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, it's a cool book. I mean, it looks, it's a great cover. It's just I like the whole
We'll be on the
concept of it.
lookout for this at the next London Comic Mart. Right.
Mm,
Next up. Oh, a nice journey into mystery.
hmm
Here's what I found.
And what was that?
That was Alexa responding to you saying something.
Oh, hello, Alexa.
She's she's
She
ignoring
doesn't talk to
you
me
now.
anymore.
No, well, afraid she decided she didn't like you. You
Yeah.
had one chance and you blew it. Right.
Okay, so this
June,
is actually a pretty cool key, by the way. Do you know what the
I
who
don't
made their first appearance?
I, the Tomorrow Man,
No.
uh, Balder, Hela, and Sif.
Yes. Well, so Sif is major, Hela is major. Hela is the one from Ragnarok, right?
Oh, is that Loki's sister? Hmm.
It's the girl with the crazy hair thing.
Yeah. Loki's sister. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
that's the
Thor's
funny
sister
made
too.
her first appearance actually.
Yeah. So that's her first appearance. So major book.
She's not on the cover though.
She's not on the cover.
It's a great cover.
Um, actually, I like Hela covers. I actually collect Hela covers. I just think she's a cool looking character. I really enjoyed Ragnarok as a movie.
Yeah,
I thought the girl that, what's her name? The girl that played Hela.
oh, I can't remember her name.
Uh, oh, I know it too. That's gonna drive me nuts. But yeah, I'm gonna get okay again in the comments. People are gonna say, obviously it's her, but they're gonna say their name. But yeah, she's awesome. And I think she really did a great job. She really made the character seem kind of badass. So I really enjoyed Hela as a villain.
Yeah, good villain. Um,
Yeah.
do you know you keep picking ones I've never owned? I don't collect Journey into Mystery, but I do buy it to resell. Uh,
hmm
I've shifted a lot of Journey into Mysteries. I've never had this one.
Really, I actually have this as well. It's mine's I believe mine's raw. Um, but definitely a cool book. Yeah, I picked it up right after I watched the movie. Actually, probably at the worst time to buy it,
Yeah,
but
what
I
everybody
just
else was
thought she's
doing.
such a cool character.
Okay, so NATO for 480. You bought this, Alan.
Yeah,
Is that a good price or a bad price?
that seems a bit low. I think at the time, like because I'm going by buying it when the movie came out, so
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah,
forgive me on that one.
yeah.
But I would have thought this was closer to that $1,000 range. So let's
Oh,
see.
it's way down off. It's way down off the COVID peak. Yeah, during
Which
COVID, it sold for nearly 1100.
see, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's down at 480 now. It's not quite. It has dipped down as low as 408.
Actually, it looks like it's kind of like
It's
found the
it's
floor and kind of coming up a bit
found its
again.
floor. How is it against pre-COVID? It's down against pre-COVID.
Yeah. But remember, the movie came out long before COVID.
Do you know it's significantly down from pre-COVID? So
Yeah.
pre-COVID was $600. Six
Yeah,
five.
when was the peak that there should be a peak around when the movie came out. So I have a feeling this movie came out 2015, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that'll be this rise here. No, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So that's December 2016, and then it goes up here.
Or
So
maybe I'm wrong about the date when the movie. I don't know when the
I
movie
think
came out,
Ragnarok's
but
a bit later than that. So I think that's a Ragnarok.
yeah, it should be like there should be a peak, due to the movie coming out, and that's when I stupidly bought my copy. And then then I learned later that that's not a good idea to buy it when
No,
at the height of the market. It's
no, don't
not the
do that.
smartest thing.
So yes, no, this has not delivered you a huge return on your investment, I don't think, Alan.
Which is sad. I mean, such a great character. And they every so often they bring her back. I think I feel like she was brought back. Wasn't she brought back in like one of the what ifs or something? I'm not sure.
I
Maybe
think
I'm mistaken.
yeah, I think she was in one of those awful ones. Was she in the awful one where Thor turned into a party boy?
Maybe, maybe. Yeah, I felt like she was in there somewhere. People can again correct me in the comments. I'll get a lot of corrections, I feel. Um, so yeah, so this one actually has a fairly low census if you think for Marvel. I always have to qualify that by saying for Marvel. This is like less than 1,000. It's like 800 on the census.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, you know, I think this book kind of suffers because it's not a great cover, actually, in terms of not having the character on the cover.
yeah.
You kind of want to have that first appearance with the major character on
On
the
the cover.
cover.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, um, definitely a cool book. Figured, hey, I should have some of these under the radar keys. So yeah, that is the first half of this top 10 list.
yeah. I enjoyed that.
Uh,
There's quite a few there I've not seen, and there's
yeah, I mean they should have been fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I kind of wanted to balance out last week with this week, kind
yeah.
of. But there is one big book that's on your list. And there's a reason for it. I'll get into that on your show. So yeah, so go over to Mark's channel. The link is in the description. Check out the second part. It's going to be interesting. There's some
Okay.
more cool books.
All right. I'll see you over there, Alan, and everybody
Bye
else.
for now, guys.
Bye.